Keltische Musik von A bis Z. Schottenradio gehört zu mir.
Hi, we are Skerryvore, and this is SchottenTV.
Hello all you lovely lassies and handsome laddies around the planet. Welcome to another edition of SchottenTV. And I'm not alone, now I have the pleasure to give a warm welcome to Skerryvore. How are you doing, guys?
Good, thanks. Yeah, how you doing, Basil?
Well, all is fine and I'm really happy to have you. And so, how was the journey so far? Tell us a wee bit about your Skerryvore tour.
It's been going well so far. We always have a great time in Germany. We're well looked after here. Not like Scotland with their horrible people.
That was Alex from Skerryvore, you know. The audience in Scotland will love you now.
Yeah, we'll never be able to go back. No, it's been going really well. We've had some nice audiences on the tour, lovely venues, yeah, great people. So it's good fun so far. Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Schotten Radio, you are very successful there, and many years ago, you received actually a McDoodle Music Award. Do you remember?
That's correct.
It's been a while since then. Yeah. So let's talk about the history of the band. When did you found the band? For what reason did you found the band? And how did it start all?
Well, it's been 10 years since we started the band.
Aye.
Skerryvore. Anyway, we were together a little bit longer in other formations with different names and stuff like that, but so the band kind of formed originally through sort of holidays on Tyree, which is where Daniel and his brother Martin, who's off camera at the moment, is where they're from. So Tyree's a small island in the west coast of Scotland, for anyone who might not know that. So those guys were from there, and myself and Fraser were from Livingston and West Lothian, and Fraser and his family had always gone to Tyree on holiday. And when he was a lot younger, he met Daniel and Martin and would play sort of informally just in the pubs and stuff like that for kind of ceilidhs and stuff, just a bit of crack. So they would always do that. And then eventually I went on holiday with Fraser and his family to Tyree as well and met the guys. And when we sort of got to be in at university around the same time and were in Glasgow and stuff, we just decided we'd get together and play some sort of small gigs. You know, like I think we got asked to do a specific event that somebody needed a band for, and we said, well, we could be a band for that. I suppose we could play a few tunes. And that was really how it started. It wasn't a formal decision to start a band with some big plan to go anywhere. It was really just someone needed a band, we'll play a few tunes, and then it all just kind of went on from there. You know, word spread that we were now some sort of wee ceilidh band, and we started doing weddings and functions and stuff. It was all for that. So it really was about money, I suppose, is why we started. Just to get some extra money.
I see. Well, so and how was the sound in this time? Was that a Skerryvore sound we all know today, or was it more a ceilidh band? Or?
Yeah, very different to where we are now. Obviously, just with the 4 members, and as Alex said, on Tyree it was very popular. Ceilidh dancing was very popular in Tyree, and that's what many of our initial gigs were for. I think around that point the band Skippinish, who I think are coming to Germany later this year for the first time, they'd already established themselves a couple of years around the west coast of Scotland, so they set us off on our sort of first mini tour around the Highlands and Islands, and as Alex said, at that point it was just really about having fun and making a few pounds and having a few beers and things like that. There was no any plans for it to be a career as such, because we're all at university, so it's really just sort of snowballed from there. And as you say, the sound's changed a lot. We've had more members come in. Jody here's the newest member of Skerryvore. He's the third bass player to come in as well. We went from 4 to now having 7 on stage all the time, and guests and additional members at other points as well.
So the name Skerryvore, why did you name your band Skerryvore?
Well, Skerryvore is a famous lighthouse which is about 9 miles off the coast of Tiree. And like I said, we had sort of various other names that we sort of went as. I think we were like the Gillespie brothers when we first started, because when you start as a ceilidh band, the main thing in that band is always the people who are playing the sort of traditional tunes, and that was the Gillespie brothers. So although it was Daniel, Martin and Fraser and I, we just went as the Gillespie brothers because nobody in the west coast of Scotland could care less about guitar or drums. They only like accordion and pipes. So, so the band was the Gillespie brothers. Then I think we were Bruce or something like that. Like we had a few different names.
I think we basically ran out of time. We'd already agreed to sort of record an album, and we hadn't settled on a band name, so the time was running out, and the idea of Skerryvore had been floated a few times, and we decided to go with that, and that's been the name since.
Sort of, I mean, it has become a name that's quite difficult for some people to say. Not so much in Germany and other foreign countries, because they maybe don't try to think of it as being something else. They just hear the word and then say it. But in Scotland, sometimes
in classical, scary.
Yeah, it sounds like other words to people. So that's become a wee bit difficult. But it's a good name for us because it does always connect us back to where it all started and stuff. So that's why it really is Skerryvore, you know.
Good name, good name. So, and how would you describe your unique Skerryvore sound?
That's a difficult question. Again, because we never really started as a band who had like an intention to be a specific band, you know, we never all like started in someone's garage all dressed in the same clothes with like specific haircuts and said we're going to do like this kind of music. We just started playing music and it's all evolved into whatever it is now. So it really is just a mixture of what people have played and growing up playing music, and you know what they've experienced and what their taste in music has been or is now and stuff. So there's always that traditional Scottish element from the guys playing the tunes, and that's what they learned, you know. Then there's the kind of like rock and pop type thing that I mean, all of us listen to rock and pop, but I suppose like the sort of backline players, bass, guitar, keys and all that, we all listened to that mostly, or played that in our rooms when we were learning to play tunes. It was more like pop rock kind of stuff. So there's that element and the traditional side, and I suppose I listen to a lot of country folk type stuff as well. So in the songs that I write, a lot of them come out with that kind of hint to them as well. So it's and then quite a few people like chic as well, so there's like disco in it sometimes. I don't, not exactly disco, but something a bit kind of on that side of things. So
well, of course I do understand it's hard to talk about a sound, you know, and so probably we should watch a video.
Sounds good.
Yes, and you will love the videos on Skerryvore live on stage. This is really cool stuff. So watch this video, and we will be here when you come back in a wee while here on SchottenTV.
It's the power that I
Hello again here on SchottenTV. I'm Basil Wolfrhine, and here I have 3 members of Skerryvore. So hopefully you still like to be here.
Still good. Yeah, there's still beer left. So.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about your CDs. And the latest album was a live album. And tell us all the details. Why did you produce or present a live album?
Yeah, so the last album is called Decade, so it's a kind of celebration of our 10 years as a band, or the official 10 years anyway. And it's not a full live album, but it does contain a lot of live stuff. And we just wanted it to be a sort of cross-section of all the things we've done over the years, and we didn't think obviously that a new album of new material obviously wasn't going to celebrate that, so we thought the best thing to do was to do some live stuff of tracks, you know, and I think that's something that we've not done a whole lot of over the years, is we've never done a fully live album, and it's you know, I think that's probably where we do our best as a band anyway, as the sort of live thing, because we're quite a kind of rowdy, loud kind of sounding band, you know, so
a lot of people had asked for live tracks and things as well, and more live footage, so it was conscious that we wanted to do that. And as Alex said, because it was the 10-year, not making a whole new album, it felt right to look at some of the material through the 10 years. But there was some new tracks on it as well. The tracks that Happy to Be Home and Can't Find the Cure with Sharon Shannon, which was amazing to get. You know, we'd met her doing gigs, and it was amazing to get somebody of you know, of that stature to agree to come and feature on the album, which is amazing.
And anyway, the video proved you're a fantastic live band. It's really rock and roll live on stage. And so how is it actually to be a bass player? In a no, I can't say a traditional band, because I think you are not a traditional folk band. It's more a folk rock, probably, and apart from the bagpipes and the accordion stuff, probably it's a rock band, you know. And so, do you have problems probably to play with a bagpipe player or so?
Problems playing with Martin,
And try to be nice.
I suppose, as Alec mentioned, you know, it's because it's such a mix of styles, you know, like country, disco, rock and things like that. I suppose from a bass point of view, it's a similar approach to what I might do in those contexts as well. And we do have the more traditional tune sets like the Ginger Grouse reels, which is a bit more traditional sort of Celtic bass. But apart from that, it's really just kind of free rein to do my own thing, which is good.
That's true. So, is there a favorite track on the latest CD? What you probably would prefer?
On the Decade album?
On the Decade album, yeah.
Well, I think the favourite of mine is usually just the newest thing, because you're least fed up with that already.
I see.
So no, I think Happy to Be Home, just because it was quite cool to get to a point of having someone like Sharon want to play on it and stuff, and you know, and again, because it's the newest thing, and we did a video for it and all that, so there was quite a lot of like energy put into it and a lot of hype around it for us and all that, so that's probably...
And we had great fun with the videos and recorded in our favourite pub in Glasgow, in the Park Bar, so it was very nice to go back there and have a night with a few beers while recording that as well. So.
Yeah, the video is cool. So when the fans wants to buy a CD, where can they buy your CDs?
Buy them from all the usual kind of shops and stuff in the UK, at least anyway, as well as our website, Skerryvore.com. We've got our online shop there, and iTunes and the other places that you're allowed to download these things. I think there's maybe even one album on Spotify, but you're probably best just to buy it.
Just to buy a physical copy, you know. So, well, if you have a mission on this planet, what mission do you have?
I don't know.
What does it mean to be a musician, you know? To live as a musician?
It's hard to say really, because I just do it because that's what I love doing, you know. I'm obviously really quite pleased that I managed to make it a job as well, but like being a musician is something that you would just be whether you were paid to do it or not, you know. Like I'd still be making music, and I'd still be writing songs, playing the guitar all the time, you know. maybe just nobody would be listening to it apart from me. So you're always a musician, whether it's actually your job or not, you know. So just
I think we've been very fortunate that it's opened up the possibility to travel around the world. You know, we've been to so many different countries to play, and that's an amazing thing. You know, I can't imagine that I might not have been to some of the countries or places that we have been.
Yes.
It wouldn't have been to your amazing home here probably if it wasn't for music either.
Yeah, probably, yes. The Scottish heritage, how important is that for you?
Very, very important. Just obviously the links back to Tyree, especially because we were very fortunate growing up there that there was people willing to give their time to teach us accordion and bagpipes for free, and not just myself and Martin, you know, pretty much everyone growing up in Tyree was given the opportunity if that's what they wanted to do. So it's a very nice thing going back home and speaking to people, and people are always very interested in what we're doing and where we're travelling. So that is very, very important for us.
Do you think there's a difference between probably the crowd in Tyree or the Scottish mainland and in Germany or the USA? Is there a difference?
Yeah, no, there is. Everywhere in the world we go, I think it's very different. Even in the same country, different venues or different areas can. I think even on this German tour, there's been different types of crowds, as we've seen in the different parts of Germany as well. You know.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt it's different. There is something about if you're playing your home crowd, and you know, Alec will feel it if he's in Livingston or Jodie in Aberdeen. If you're playing to your own family or friends, there's a wee bit of added pressure at times and things in the same way as if you're on Tyree.
I think especially a lot of the crowds that we play to, perhaps that's quite specific because they're in certain types of clubs or they're into a certain genre, but they're, you know, quite intent listeners. You know, they're big music fans who've, you know, followed people quite closely and checked a lot of stuff out and, you know, collect a lot of music, I think. Yeah. So that's a lot of the people you play to in Germany, I find. You know, they've went there because they're real music lovers. We get that in the UK as well, but you also get people who went to an event because they're just going for a big night out. So you're not just getting intent music listeners, you're getting people who are there to party as well, which is great because we are all about that as well anyway, you know. But I think that's probably the biggest difference sometimes is, you know, you can get like a room full of people sitting in absolute silence listening to what you're doing in Germany. And then you'll get like a room full of 400 people going absolutely mental in Scotland who won't remember what you played at all, which is probably why we've lasted that long.
Yes, so that's a really good story. Well, I think we should watch another video, and well, of course, Skerryvore is actually a huge band. You have 7 members, and all the other members are directly behind the camera at the moment. And so after this video, we will have new guests, new Skerryvore members, and so. Till then, stay tuned, and what can I say? It was great to do this interview with you, but don't leave Scottish Germany. Just stay here at Basil Wolfrhine till we are ready. Okay, then watch now this video on SchottenTV. Hello again here on SchottenTV, today to our Skerryvore special. And as you already should notice, now 2 new members from Skerryvore are here. How are you doing, guys?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good.
I'm fine. How was the journey so far? Hope the life is good, yes?
Yes, all good.
Good, fine. Well, let's talk about your instruments. Let's talk about fiddles and pipes and stuff. Probably we should start with the great Highland pipes. That's the instrument you do play. When did you start to play the pipes, and how is it to be a piper in Scotland, and how is it to be a piper in a rock band?
Interesting at times. It's a temperamental instrument, to say the least. I started playing, I think I was 14. I'm actually an accordion player, that's why I started playing at first, but because Daniel, my brother, was older, he got to play accordion in the band. He won.
Okay.
That time, so I get stuck with the pipe. So I've been playing since 14, so about 16, a bit years now. So, but they're a challenging instrument, to say the least. when you're travelling all over the world in different temperatures and stuff like that. But obviously it's great to play them in different countries and see the reaction you get, because it's one of the things that Scotland's renowned for is the Highland bagpipes, along with my other great friend, whiskey. So
Yeah.
You always get a really good reaction when Martin comes on stage with the bagpipes.
It's
Well,
monumental.
he's obviously wearing the kilt and everything as well, so
Yeah,
it gets a bigger reaction than the fiddle, definitely.
Yeah. But I saw you many times live on stage, and when you start your specials and really nice tunes, this is really cool as well.
Thank you.
And anyway, I love fiddle, but I do love bagpipes as well. I'm not a player, of course. My neighbors will. They
Thank
really
you.
know that. Yeah. So. You play fiddle. This is more probably a quiet instrument, and bagpipes is really a loud one. I don't know. How is it with the solos and all the stuff?
I suppose by the time everything's all mixed with
Yes.
the monitors and everything, then everything's generally as loud as each other to a certain extent.
Yeah, okay.
The bagpipes on their own can sound extremely loud, but then once you have the rest of the band playing at the same time, because often we will have an engineer who is doing the live sound for us that has never heard us play before, and when the bagpipes play, he will say, "Oh, we won't need a microphone," and until he realises that once everything else is in, the bagpipes completely disappear. So once everything's all together, then it's.
So when you have rehearsals, how do you do that?
generally, but there's a place in Glasgow that we rehearse that has PA.
Oh yeah,
and so you can
need-
mic
yeah,
everything
yeah.
up, but it is a lot quieter. I mean, the problem I have is if you're ever, want to do something acoustic, you can't really do it with the pipes and guitar and fiddle because the pipes
Actually, the
obviously
same
drown
with the
everything
drum
out. But
kit.
you get like
you know?
things like small pipes and border pipes, which
Yeah.
are.
Do you play with the small pipes?
I used to when we started Skerryvore. At first, that's what I played. At first, with small pipes, but as the sound progressed and got bigger, like because at first Fraser would just be playing snare drum and hi hats, and
see.
Alec was only acoustic guitar, so the sound was very dance band Cayley sounding.
Yeah,
But as the sound grew to full kit, bass, keys, and everything else, the small pipes were so hard to even to mic up just to get a good sound. So we just binned them and brought the real thing out.
So why do you think the Scottish music is so popular worldwide?
I think like Scottish culture in general is quite popular.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
quite,
I know.
I think because we have such a strong heritage and a really easily identifiable image, people see tartan and see kilts and see bagpipes, and it's instant that it's Scottish. Whereas some countries might not have anything that's quite so obvious. And I think obviously there's been a lot of Scottish culture historically in the movies and on television, and there's a lot of history there, so I think people kind of latch onto that. And because Scottish people, have spread throughout the world, there's Scottish people living all over the world as well, so there's a lot of people who either are Scottish or think they're Scottish or whatever. There's people who believe that they are kind of part of the thing, which helps.
One of our slogans is "Welcome to your Celtic family." So, did you ever met this Celtic family around the planet? All the people who are totally happy with the heritage and with tartans and bagpipes and whiskey and kilts. Do you see that as a family? I mean, music-wise, of course, or is that just a crowd in front of you?
Well, it's definitely. I mean, it's the Celtic family thing is definitely linked when you think of Celtic music throughout the world. The Scottish music compared to Irish music, compared to music from regions in France and Spain. It's all quite closely linked. All the Celtic regions all together all have music which is different in many ways, but the same essentially in its roots.
Would you say you are a typical Scottish folk band?
No, we're probably quite different, just with the different influences in the band. And, it's kind of hard to describe, really, because we get asked all the time to describe our sound,
I
and
know.
it's pretty difficult.
We're
to
probably
do.
slightly less Scottish
Yeah.
than a lot of other Scottish folk bands because we have musicians from different backgrounds that are involved, and the kind of the majority of people in the band actually don't come from a traditional kind of folk background or Celtic background. So because it's a mixture, I think we are slightly different. But there are so many bands now in Scotland that are completely different from each other now. There's very few that are kind of all that really folk kind of folk rock thing. There's that are more kind of towards the dance side of things, and there's more towards the kind of heavier rock side of things. There's different types of.
I think in Scotland the scene's probably the biggest it's been for years. It's thriving with all the different bands and artists and young musicians that are coming through. There's so many different bands with different influences there.
And that is good how it is.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's so strong now.
Yeah. Who does actually write all your songs? Is that a band thing, or is there probably a songwriter you write songs or tunes, or you, or how is it?
Alec generally writes 90% of the songs.
I see.
And Craig, myself and Dan, we've written quite a few of the tunes, but generally what will happen is like Alec will come with a song or we'll come with a tune. Probably the tune's complete or the song's just about complete, but then the band will arrange it together.
And you change sometimes then the plans, cause as a bagpipe player,
there's
not a huge range, you know. Yeah.
I've taken tunes in and then they've been completely changed. Like the Showman, one of the tunes that came in, it was just a kind of normal 4-part jig, and it's completely changed now, you know.
Live on stage, I saw you were killed.
Yes.
Yeah. And why do you do that?
I think generally the punters like it, so.
Yeah.
And also it's showing our heritage from Scotland and stuff, and it's.
Yeah, I think it's an important part of the show.
I stopped for a while. We used to wear it first, and we stopped wearing it, but people were just constant. Why don't you wear your kilt again? So we started wearing it. Now we've got our own. For a decade, 10 year last year, we made our own tartan. So we've got our own registered Skerryvore tartan.
And is that the same in Scotland? Do you wear live on stage?
Yeah, we also wear the kilt.
I notice many Scottish artists wear kilts outside of Scotland, but not in Scotland. Yeah. And I always ask myself why.
I think we used to wear kilts in the band. Most of the band at one point all wore kilts, and I think we decided at some point that it was almost. The problem in Scotland is often that because we were trying to do something that was slightly different from just being traditional Celtic music.
That's true.
But as soon as people saw that you were wearing kilts, they'd already decided in their head what it was going to sound like. Yeah. So they kind of made a decision based on what they saw, which we decided it made sense for Martin to wear a kilt because he's a bagpiper and bagpipers would generally wear a kilt. But for the rest of us, it wasn't always as essential. But when we go abroad, then sometimes other members of the band might wear a kilt because you're representing your country, and it's not recognised as being so specific a type of music when you travel to different countries.
Anyway, when you play outside of Scotland, I think most times you do gigs on special places like Irish and Scottish festivals and stuff like that. Or did you ever play, I don't know, probably on a totally normal rock concert or so? Did you things like that as well?
Yeah, we've played a whole mix. We do play when we play in festivals in Europe. It's mostly kind of either folk festivals or Scottish Highland Game festivals. When we tour in America, the majority is Irish festivals, some Scottish festivals, but we also have played at kind of normal festivals quite regularly, and jazz festivals and other types of music.
Yeah, so and it makes more sense than to wear kilt if you are anyway on a Scottish festival, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do understand that well, and I couldn't agree more because the marketing is really important. And if you watch a cover and you see 6 kilted persons, you imagine, of course, a very traditional thing, and you are not traditional enough to be Scottish, yes, but not too much to be probably boring to a rocking crowd, you know.
Yeah.
So we should watch another video, and then after the video, probably, we will have all the other members of the band.
Excellent.
And in the meanwhile, you can have another beer or a whiskey in our bar if you fancy.
Okay. Right, see you later.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Okay, then watch this video, and we will be back very, very soon here on SchottenTV.
Take this road every other day to leave for somewhere new and far away. Though I may be gone, please don't be blue. My heart second to be right where you are. Think about the past and the times we've had. I smile for tomorrow and it makes me glad. Any road I travel and it doesn't matter where. The end of every journey I will always find you there. Yes, I'm home, I'm happy to be home. Home, and it feels like I was never alone. Home, I'm happy to be home. I'm happy to be home with you. Happy to be home. Happy to be
Hello again here on SchottenTV, and yes, we are still running our Skerryvore special, and well, now I have two new members from the band here. How are you doing, guys?
Good, thank you. Very good.
Well, let's talk about your plans. What are you doing right now, and what do you plan next month, next year, next century?
Well, right now we're really concentrating on our event Oban Live that we're putting on. It's a kind of follow on from our Decade concert that we did last year.
Hi.
Where we initially wanted to do a kind of an outdoor concert, hoping to get around 1,000 or 1,500 people there, and then we got 6,000 people there. So it was amazing, and there was a big demand for it to be an annual event. So we've now got this an event called Oban Live on the 13th and 14th of May, with some amazing artists. It's a huge lineup of people. So you've got Wolfstone, you have Capper Cayley, Julie Fowlis,
Wow.
Phil and Ali, Katie Tunstall, Wee Banjo 3, Skipnish, ourselves are playing. So it's really a kind of who's who of Scottish music. So yeah, it's great for us to put it on. Great to put on a concert with all those bands on, and looking forward to getting more people back to Oban again.
Why do you think your band is such successful worldwide?
I think probably Martin and his kilt. I think a lot of ladies like Martin and his kilt. I don't know. There's something I think about the music that makes people feel good. I think anywhere that we've played, even to a small bar in Beijing, there was police cars stopping outside and people coming in from the street just because there's something that kind of attracts people to the sound, and there's a feel good atmosphere around the music most of the time. So, but it's good fun. I think that's why it's kind of so popular.
Alec told me you started actually as a Keeley band, Keeley band, and since this time, of course, changed a lot, because the drum kit was very small when they start. In the meanwhile, they have a proper drummer. So how is it to be a drummer in a folk rock band?
It's great fun, challenging at points.
Why that?
No, it's more.
It's not very good.
It's not. Yeah, not very good. It was great to go from playing just one snare drum and a set of hi-hats, and that was nice for a change. And then as the band has kind of built up, more and more drums got
got added. It's just more things for me to hit or miss, you know. And it's great fun. It's always quite different. It's not boring as you might think. There's a lot of kind of different things that can be done.
I do not think at all it's boring.
Just there's so many different styles as well. So you get to play some kind of heavier rock stuff, some funk stuff, some more chilled out stuff, and yes, it's great fun.
Indeed, I do remember when I saw you last year on the Black Sheep Festival, and you started with this funky number. I do not remember the song, but Alex started with a funky guitar, and that was a really cool riff as well. So actually, a drummer have nothing to do else as to be in time. Is that right?
Well, I try.
I'm kidding. No. Well. This is of course a basic of a rock band to have a drum kit, but another basic is keyboards. Yeah, of course. To me, keyboards are very, very important because it always presents a full sound, a warm full sound. So tell me all your experience with Skerryvore as a keyboard player.
Well, I'm kind of an accidental member of Skerryvore. When they wanted to change, I think, from being the kind of Cayley type sound into something much bigger and more commercial, I think they were looking around for a studio to record and something to produce the new material, to try and give it that more rocky or poppier, more commercial edge. It's a strange word, but that's kind of what it was. And we recorded a test track together in my studio in Glasgow, and the guys seemed to like it, and I liked the guys, and we had a really good kind of rapport, and we kind of understood what we both wanted. And then accidentally, when that album was finished, they were doing a really big album launch concert and asked me if I would play at that concert. And here I am, 6 years later maybe.
Okay.
So I kind of accidentally fell into it from being the producer of an album for them, and then continued to produce the albums up until...
What album was it?
That was the Skerryvore album.
Skerryvore one, yeah.
Skerryvore
album. So the debut one, yeah? The debut album was
Skerryvore? There was a few before that, but I wasn't involved in those.
The very first one was 2005, and then there was 2007, and then the one that Alan did was 2011.
Oh, yes, that's right, yeah.
2010.
So you're a producer as well?
Yeah.
And so are you responsible for this Skerryvore sound as a producer?
Yes, almost completely. Yes.
Okay.
No, not at all. No,
you can kick him as well.
No,
if you don't like.
The great thing about Skerryvore is all the different influences, and they're an easy band to produce because everyone brings their own different style and different ideas to it. And then in the studio, it's really easy to work with, and we all have the same idea of what the finished thing should be, so that makes it easy. The only time it's difficult in the studio is when everyone thinks it should sound different, but we've come across this continuing pattern that everyone wants the same thing, so it's quite easy to achieve that in the studio with Skerryvore.
That's a good point. What do you think? Is there a huge difference between the studio Skerryvore recordings and the live sound?
Yeah, very much so. It's something that I've wrestled with and struggled with myself to try, because of being in the band and seeing the reaction and hearing the power of the band when we play live. In the studio, it's such a difficult thing to capture, which is why I was delighted that the last album had some live stuff on it, because that was, mixing that was like, well, now this is what it should sound like. But in the cold light of day in a recording studio that's, everyone's had to drive to, and you're in there for 10 hours a day, it's hard to recreate the same energy, and it's something that I definitely struggle with, but it's something that I'll continually work on.
Apart from this energy, are you able to present this full sound from the studio live as well?
Yeah. I mean, there's very little that's on the albums that doesn't get played live. There's a few percussive things and maybe some guitar overdubs and things that obviously you would need more people.
Yeah, of course.
But we've found a way of, through rehearsing and just trying out different ideas, we've found a way of transferring the studio sound and the different layers of that to live. There's very little of it is missing, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I think we should watch this promotion video from this Owen gig, and then we will be back with a whole band in this wee studio. It will be funny. So just watch this video, and then this is the place to be when Skerryvore will be live on stage, and all the other fantastic bands like Chili Folders and Wolfstone and you know. You can watch that all now at this trailer. Just watch it here on SchottenTV.
Welcome back to SchottenTV. I'm Martin from Skerryvore. You've just seen the promo for Open Live 2016. Please come along, it's the 13th and 14th of May.
Wow, what a warm welcome to the audience worldwide. Yeah, just go for it. I will try to be there as well, because Skerryvore live on stage, Wolfstone, Chili Folders and all the others. That should be a blast. Yeah, for sure.
Good,
a cracker. So, what can I say? That was our Skerryvore special, and thanks for watching this program. Hopefully you liked this as much as we did, and hopefully it was good for you as well to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was totally cool.
Well, I wish you all the luck for all your project in the future. Just keep doing what you're doing, because you do it really cool, and I can't wait to see you again live on stage. And then, well, enjoy yourself and see you very soon, hopefully.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.
And now we have a really special video, because it's a brand new song by Skerryvore here on SchottenTV, and you can download this song as well. Where was it?
If you go to the website Skerryvore.com, so it's a cover of Bruce Hornsby's The Way It Is, recorded live in the studio. So
I see.
if you go to Skerryvore.com and join our mailing list, you get a free MP3 download.
A free MP3 download. You should go for that. So yeah, enjoy yourself and see you very, very soon.
Time waiting for the welfare dime, 'cause they can't buy a job. The man in the silk suit hurries by as he catches a poor old lady's eye. Just for fun he says, get a job. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. That's just the way it is. But don't you believe them? Say hello they do. Said, hey old man, how can you stand to think that way? Did you really think about it before you made the rules? That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. That's just the way it is. Ah, but don't you believe it? The law in 64 to give those who ain't got a little more, but it only goes so far. There's a law that don't change another's mind when all he sees is the higher time. There's a line on the caliber. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. That's just the way it is. Ah, but don't you believe it? That's just the way it is. Some things will never change.